Welcome everyone to this discussion where we're going to talk about growing in the B2B IT industry. Now, by 2023, I think the population of internet users will reach approximately 667 million. This has clearly been a boost for the commercial phase of India. It went from being brick and mortar commerce to e-commerce. And with the internet becoming a commoner's dumpling, m-commerce has also become viable. In the years to come, the e-commerce sphere, the B2B sector has continued to and will attain a certain level of growth and can beat the market without any much trouble, really. In this conversation, I am joined by Nishir Gordandas, who conceived the idea of setting up NWDCO while he was still in college in the year 2001. So, what began as an unpremeditated pursuit today caters to a wide portfolio of clients across industries and has spread its wings to Asia's financial district, Hong Kong. Now, Nishir's past experiences include stints in the field of IRD, while erstwhile Bear Streams and JP Morgan. His keen expertise also stems from his involvement with implementing live projects in person in countries like Denmark, Hong Kong, Sweden, Dubai, and Tanzania. Nishir's forte really lies in his ability to view the bigger picture of the present day technology scene and also to churn out unique propositions that help organizations stand a cut above the rest. Nishir, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, and thanks for the lovely introduction.
My pleasure. So, I want to get straight down to asking you what sparked the idea for NWDCO?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting story. So back in 2001, we could create web pages on Rediff, and I'd learned the skill online and just started doing some things. And by far, that page became very popular, viral in these days. And so from there, someone contacted me and said that, hey, will you do it for my business? And well, I was a little surprised that, hey, someone actually wants to pay me for this. And that's how the idea actually started.
Right.
So yeah, so while I was in college, the entire journey took off. More of a college hobby turned into a business.
And it's been more than 19 years since the journey has started. Tell us more about this journey and tell us what are the various challenges that you faced and how did you deal with them?
Well, the journey has been full of its there were fruits and there were challenges alike. Well, when you start off your business or college hobby turned into business,
Mhm.
you are always not sure of how it would do or how it won't do. Well, the pressure was very less because I was in college, and thankfully my parents were supporting me, so I didn't have to think much about that. But when it came to the time of post graduation, completing that, doing 1 year at like couple of years at Westerns, and then moving on, so that was a challenge wherein should you take that leap of faith and think that, okay, my business will perform, or should I just be in the comfort zone of my job? So I think that was the biggest challenge in diving into the ocean of entrepreneurship. But I think there too I was well supported by my wife and my parents alike. So that was the biggest challenge. Then of course, as time came into play, we started approaching a lot of companies, and to all of these companies the question was always that, hey, what if you wind up? Who are you? We don't even know you. So trying to get that credibility, trying to reach out to the existing clients and convincing them to refer us to more clients, I think that was the journey which was the most interesting part of it. And well, again, so it's me, my brother. We are partners. Maulik is my younger brother, so he joined when he completed his graduation and 1 year at Accenture. Again, the challenge was when we started to hire new people, right? At that point in time, why will a person want to join a startup who still isn't a startup? There's no brand recognition and all. So that was another challenge that we faced. But thankfully we got through that, and we have a small team today. But yes, we have a small team of 20, but still it's a very interesting team that we have. So yeah, I think that this journey has a lot of like ups and downs. And by far, I think the biggest challenge which I faced was trying to get hold of one of my largest clients, that is the Taj Mahal Palace, Kulaba, Mumbai. It took me close to 13 months to convince them to give me an opportunity. And after 13 months of rigorous feedback, giving them demos, convincing them, finally I was able to land that project. And
Wow.
today they are my active clients. So yeah, I think it's been a interesting journey nonetheless.
So, if there is one thing that you took away from that journey of 13 months, what would that be?
Persistence.
Be at
And
it.
ensuring quality. That is the only thing that I mean, no other ways. You just have to keep on trying.
And talking about quality, Nishal, with all the other software companies in this industry right now, how do you see NWDCO being different and standing out?
So we've had a pretty simple approach. It was to offer quality at a competitive price. So I think that has got us this far. And I mean, we can say that very confidently, because with just one example, that the first customer that I had got 19 years back is still my customer, and he proudly gives us a lot of business. So that I believe is our biggest achievement also. And I think going around with quality always matters. And your commitment and ethics are what speaks volumes about you.
Absolutely. I think going by the example you just gave, it really speaks volumes about the relationship that you build with your clients and your customers. So, with all the services that NWC provides, right, from app development to cloud services, tell us what's your roadmap.
Well, well, this journey has been has unveiled itself as time has passed. So like I told you, entrepreneurship was always like a college hobby turned business. And well, we've taken every step as it comes by. Like, technology evolves very quickly, and we've always been trying to adapt. Just think about it. 19 years back, when I started off, uh, we didn't have mobile phones. The only mobile phones were the Nokias, which hardly had any apps, right? Just one
Yeah.
snake game. So as technology came by, as technology evolved, we tried to adapt that. We tried to scale it up and offer the same to our clients. So essentially, building websites, and from there maturing to offer mobile apps or a custom software development. This journey has actually laid itself out for us. And in future also, I mean, it's going to be very dynamic, and it's going to be very interesting.
Tell me, now that you're talking about dynamics and change, what's the biggest change that you have witnessed in this industry as far as customer behavior is concerned?
Okay, so I think the customer has always been loyal. If my customer is happy with me, then the customer will always be with me. Having said that, there is a lot of competition, right? So if I'm able to offer my services at say like $100, for example, then there will always be a person who's offering that service at $80 or $90, for example. But for your customer, uh, they will not mind spending like $110 also with you if you are offering that service. So this, I mean, positive or negative, I don't know, but I feel that my customers have always come back to me. And even in times like these, these very uncertain times, the thing is that they have come back to me. They have said that, hey, you know what, I have a competitive quote. Unfortunately, I do not have that bandwidth, maybe, so cut down your prices, I still want to work with you.
Wow.
That is something maybe change in the scenarios, but still.
That's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So in this journey that you've been talking about, Nishad, you've created different softwares, you've created different tech products till today. Tell me, what has it made you realize about the tech ecosystem?
Well, ecosystem is absolutely evolving. I mean, it is it's evolving at a pace where before you start implementing it, there is something new which is there. So I believe that taking things forward in the tech ecosystem is just two things, that is collaboration and cooperation. The idea is collaborate with other providers, collaborate, make partnerships, uh, build something awesome. But maybe you need not build everything. There are people who already have some things ready. Make use of that, partner with them, collaborate and cooperate to make something unimaginable. So that is how the tech ecosystem is also evolving.
I think what you just said is incredible because, of course, we're living in a creator's world, but it's important to acknowledge that we have to kind of make that mental shift from creation alone to collaboration as well. So, thank you for that wisdom. Tell me, is there some experience that you would like to share with us which has been a great lesson, or let's just say it's been sort of a stepping stone for you in your own product development journey?
uh, okay, now again, there's some interesting story to that. So
Okay.
most of my products are sort of evolution of the services that we provide. So for example, like we went into, like, one of our clients just approached us and said that, hey, you know what, I want something on digital signage, can you build that for me? So while we started doing that, we gave it to him and all. He told us that, hey, you know what, why don't you make this into a product? I'm sure, like me, there are many other people or many other hotels, for example, who would definitely need the service. So that is how our journey from a service to a product has also evolved. Similarly, like, I can give you almost all examples. Our newest offering, Queso contactless technologies, that itself evolved from a requirement of a hotel who wanted to actually just have something to scan the passports. So that has led to, us understanding that what there are so many offerings which people need, custom softwares, but that software can actually benefit other people in the same industry.
Right.
So the takeaway out here is probably that, you should keep your eyes open, your ears open, and understand that, hey, there might be an opportunity in the service that you are giving, and maybe this service can come up to be a beautiful product in itself.
Fantastic. So, Nishant, just for fun, my next question is, if you were not doing what you're doing right now, what else would you be doing?
Well, I think, take the pre-COVID scenario. I'll probably be diving somewhere. I love scuba diving.
Oh, wow. That's so you will be like a professional scuba diver who would probably help people like me learn scuba diving.
Oh,
That's a great pick.
yeah, yeah. It's a different world altogether.
It is, it is. It's the ocean world. So, of course, as you know, our audience is, those who have new businesses, startups, as we call them. Nishant, what's your advice to startups who are just beginning to carve their path in the IT industry? What would you say to them?
Very simple pointers. Please keep your eyes and ears open. There are tons of opportunities, and some amazing startups are already solving them as well. But guess what? You know what? There are many more opportunities than there are people who are solving them. So keep looking out at opportunities. Opportunities can be very small, simple. You walk down the road and you find that, hey, this is a problem. Maybe I can solve it with technology. And other thing is, fail. Please fail, because when you fail, you learn. And the only thing that you do is, please don't lose hope. That is the only way to succeed. When you fail, you succeed because you understand that, hey, this is what I had done wrong, and this I will never repeat it again. I mean, in my example of 19 years into the business, I keep failing all the time. I mean, all the time. That, like, even today, I must have failed, and later in the day, I'll realize that, hey, you know what, I did this wrong. But with each failure, I keep learning, and probably that is what keeps me going.
So
And
since you, so specifically said fail and learn to fail, how do you handle failure today versus in 2001 when you started?
well, handling failure has always been the same. You feel really disappointed in yourself for a couple of days that, oh God, I couldn't even think about this. How could I do this? And then, once that guilt is out, you probably try to understand that, okay, now that I have failed and I acknowledge that I have failed, probably what can I do to make amends? Or, maybe there is something that, maybe I did wrong, right? Accept your mistake. If it's to the customer, approach them and be honest with them. See, nobody expects you to be perfect. I mean, there's nobody more imperfect than me, and I'm sure that there are, like, everybody, there is some or the other imperfection in our customers. So be very honest upfront with them and just tell them, and probably that is the learning lesson that, each time keeps us going.
That's brilliant, Nishir. So my parting question is, what are you most excited about in the B2B IT industry?
Well, again, getting new customers is the most exciting part. Like, uh, today when a customer approaches us to develop a custom software, the excitement which they speak their idea, and, they have so much of faith in you. And when you understand that, and when you present a solution to them that, oh, you know what, I propose this, and, this is how the technology can help you. Uh, it's sort of nothing, sort of a sparkle in their eyes that they can finally see their product which is coming to life. And the best is when their offering actually goes live, and they in turn are able to get their customers on board, and they see that, this entire application has helped them in their business. So their success is 100% related to our success.
Wow. Nishir, this has been such a positive conversation that, really propels me to think that the opportunity in the B2B e-commerce space, especially in India for existing entities and for other budding industries, is really quite wide. And I think with the mindset of an entrepreneur that you spoke about, the chances of growth are exceptionally good. So thank you so much, Nishir, for sharing those nuggets of wisdom. Thank you for this conversation.
No, no, thank you so much, and wish you all the best. And I mean, let's all stay safe
Yes.
and take
And
care.
you as well. Thank you, Nishir. Thank you.
Thank you.